Hi Collective, welcome to my channel. I'm Crystal, I'm a psychic medium here delivering messages from the higher realms for whoever is guided to my platform. If you're new, you should definitely subscribe. You are guided to me for a reason, know that, because I'm very much here awakening all the spiritual teachers, the shamans, gurus, high priests, high priestesses, 144,000 starseeds, earth angels, chosen ones. I keep seeing me look off. As I started this reading, there are so many ravens that all of a sudden are flying from tree to tree to tree all over. You could be seeing a lot of ravens at this time, but you could be noticing that things are starting to happen around you. This is a very, very powerful time of heightened spiritual gifts and abilities. I do say that it's catching my readings on real time around the time I download or upload them is the most powerful, because I do always talk about cosmic alignments of what's going on, because currently we are in this 222 gateway, right? The February 2nd opened up to the 22nd of February is a major time of advancement. Not to mention we had our super new moon, our first super new moon of the year in the sign of Aquarius, being in the age of Aquarius. Now, if you know, new moons are when there's an alignment of the sun, the moon, and earth. That triple alignment is about coming together, basically, right? With heart, mind, body, or soul, right? So, and it also represents like the triple moon goddess. So I was looking a lot, I've been getting a lot of downloads, right? I mean, being a psychic medium, I take into account all different messages. I use all of my clairs to put together these readings. And I normally upload every day, but yesterday I didn't get to do my upload because I was doing so much research and kind of taking everything in. My last readings were talking about this major healing, right? There's so many things that are happening in phases, and as this healing emerges, or as this healing happens, because we're closing out major inner child woundings, all sorts of stuff that's been deep within our subconscious mind and our bodies and in our core, like so many things like we bury and suppress. And there's literally, it's been so heavy of purging that literally I've been resting a lot too, and I've been feeling this stuff's just so heavy, just coming up and releasing. You know, you could be noticing this major healing because of another aspect we have is Chiron is conjuncting the North Node, and doesn't often do that. So Chiron's our wounded healer, and we all have these woundings that we have to work through in each lifetime, right? Different things that we have to learn, you know, for our soul's evolution and growth, right? So whatever that may be, whatever woundings and things like that, as these woundings are released, it's allowing the emerging of higher levels of consciousness, of healing. A lot of the activity that's going on, we have massive solar flares that are coming in that are bringing in energetic codes that are upgrading and activating the DNA within us, which is allowing these mass awakenings. It's like for a lot of us, we've been completely offline from source because of our chakra systems being blocked, closed, out of alignment. And with all of these things happening, we are aligning our chakra systems. We're opening them up. We're getting back online with source divine energy, right? There's a lot that's coming out in this. I'm trying my best to here I'm hearing compartmentalize my readings, right? That's why I try to upload every day, because I get lots of downloads, and it's like it won't stop until I deliver the message, right? And it's like now I'm starting to get this beautiful flow, being Valentine's Day. I love readings that I want to do, so I'm going to be doing lots of different style readings, you know, and different things. So definitely take a look, right? So back to what I was receiving. So I was getting a lot about the triple moon goddess, right? Looking more into it, you often see that symbol, right? With witches, and it's actually on the deck that I pull guided here, right? Where you see that, right? So, you know, and that was guiding me a lot to Black Moon Lilith and looking at that. So this reading is going to be going a lot off of Black Moon Lilith and how we all have that aspect, as just like as we all have a placement with Chiron where we have wounded healer. So your North Node is your destiny, your divine life path, purpose, and that's why this is so significant, because closing that wounding and releasing it, right, is allowing you to come in alignment with your destiny, okay? And where Black Moon Lilith comes into play is we all have that aspect. That's our dark side, our shadow side. So when you can learn to embrace that dark side with your light side, you come into balance, which is going to like fully immerse you in alignment with your destiny. So that's why it's learning for a lot of you. It's just these blockages of hiding your true passions and your desires. See, our Black Moon Lilith represents our deepest desires that we are yearning to express. So for a lot of us, even if we close out and heal these woundings, but you're not pursuing your passions, your dreams, your desires, then you see what I mean? You're not fully in alignment with your North Node, right? So that's why I feel this very significant to get this reading out. And for a lot of you, it could awaken things, it could activate things for you within this reading and realizing this. And it's like, I knew a little bit about Black Moon Lilith and about the shadow side, and I've always said how you have to learn that your shadow side, your dark side, when you go through dark night of the soul, is when you face your shadow sides, you face those woundings, you heal them, you learn how to turn those things and use them for your favor. It's just like God, divine source, gave us a shadow side. It's how we protect ourselves, right? It's that animalistic side that you have, that, you know what I mean, that fight or flight mode. And see, they've taught us to suppress that, right? And to not use that. But really, you wouldn't have light without dark. You wouldn't have, good without evil. There has to be that polarity and that balance, but it's about having control of it, right? Not being the, crazily, going off in your shadow side, but learning how to temperance it, learning how to, how to balance it. And I say a lot, like I referenced the lion. I've been getting a lot of lion to us being in the year of an 8 too in numerology. I'm going to be doing a lot more with the lion deck. I've been guided a lot to the lion, because it's 8 in the tarot, which is the strength card, the lion, and it's like about, the lion doesn't need to go roaring and scare everybody to portray being the lion. He can just walk around and carry that in his auric field, right? Just the look of a lion can be enough to, get your attention, right? So that's kind of what it's about, learning how to tame that lion, but learning how to control it and use it, right? So, but see, they have given a lot of false things as I've been investigating a lot about Black Moon Lilith, right? It scares a lot of people, right? When they call her, the dark, she's represented as the dark goddess, right? They've demonized her because they don't want you to be able to explore these passions, these desires, right? So, and it's about harnessing up this untamed energy. They called her the mother of demons, right? They did all sorts of stuff, right? So anyway, they exiled her, so I'm going to get into the little bit of the story about it, but I wanted to tell you that, or I wanted to realize that while this is coming together is, because if you look at my desk, I was guided this a few days ago, and I noticed that all these goddess cards and all the oranges and the yellows, and I've been talking about this healing, so I really feel for a lot of you, it's going to be awakening this feminine energy, because Black Moon Lilith, she represents that wild femininity energy, and we all have it. That's our divine feminine, and that represents your passions and your desires. So it kind of all ties together, and that's why I tell you that my readings do build off of each other. That's why I feel like I have to do them in order to. All right. So I was noticing that, and as I was investigating more into it, I was just realizing all of the things that they guided me to. I've had black smoky quartz on my desk. I always work with black obsidian, right? When I was looking up Black Moon Lilith, right, and I was looking at her gemstones are onyx black, and she works with smoky quartz. Her element is water and fire, which is what my chart is made up of. A sign Scorpio, which is my south node, and your south node is where you've been from, what you've mastered, right? And you use that in this lifetime, but you expand on it. So I really feel it's very important for me to be teaching about that, right? Especially to all my young feminines, and I'm going to be doing more of this on my goddess channel that I have for all my young goddesses, right? But see, her archetype is the witch, right? And this is the witch's tarot, because they All right, so I'm going to get into a little bit of a story about her, but they referred to her as night creature, night monster, the snake seductress, they'll align her with, because of the story and how they change things. So this goes back to the very, very beginning, okay? So the very beginning, and this is in Mesopotamian, Judaic, Jewish, Hebrew mythology, right? From a very ancient literature. It goes back to the story of Adam and Eve. Now, because of the way it went, to be able to, for people to understand it, they've left out a lot of it. Everybody knows that the story of Adam and Eve, right? Being the first and Eve being the first wife, but really she was not. Really, his first wife was Lilith. But they don't talk a lot about that because she she was exiled, and then God gave him a new wife, Eve. So this is how the story goes, right? All right, so Black Moon Lilith, okay, so Lilith was created the same time that Adam was out of dust to be his equal. But what happened is Adam wanted to be more in control, and he did not like that Lilith wanted to be his equal. So even the story goes that he liked missionary style, okay, sex, right? And Lilith wanted to be on top. She wanted to not be submissive to him. She wanted to be able, to desire sex like she wanted to, just like as Adam as an equal. So when she refused to be submissive to him with sex and stand up for herself, and she actually decided to leave Eden, okay, and she was not going to be submissive to Adam. So Adam was not too happy with that, and nothing else, none of the other animals that offered him everything, nothing could satisfy him. So he went to God and explained what had happened, and God was so upset that he sent 3 angels to go track down Lilith to bring her back. But she still refused to go back to Eden because she was not going to be submissive to Adam. So for that, she was exiled out of the Garden of Eden. So she took refuge in the underworld. That's why she's referred to as the goddess of the underworld, where she was able to express her sexuality, her freedom, and she had ended up having 3 children that were demons, okay? And so they've tried to change everything, saying that she steals children. They've tried to attach the dark side to her, trying to say that, the succubus type of thing, that she's demon, that she steals, so they've, portrayed her as being, this wild, untamed spirit, right? And that, she was very evil, right? So, and they say all these things too, like her wild spirit was to curse pregnancy, all sorts of stuff. So, the part that I forgot, right? So after she was banished and refused to go back, so she's sent to the underworld, that is when God created his second wife, Eve, while Adam was sleeping, took a portion of his rib, right, and created Eve. But they don't talk a lot about Lilith was the first wife that was equal to Adam and refused to be submissive. So God, Divine Source, was very, very upset that she would not go back. So that's why a new wife was created, okay? So they've labeled her as being corrupt, deranged, demonic, all because she refused to be submissive, right? Her Hebrew translation is night monster, right? So that's where she gets it. And also Lilith, it relates to the night, I believe. Dark night. Okay, so why this is all so significant too is because we have a big influence, right? And so Black Moon Lilith, it's really, it's not a planet, right? It's actually a point, right? Let me get to my notes on that. So I got a lot of notes, hold on. So there's a lot of sacred rage working against a oppressive power structure for judgment. This is why this is all significant now in being an age of Aquarius. So it's the moon's orbital path. Okay. So it's the farthest point away from the moon. So it can be, everybody's got this. You can do a birth chart analyzer and find out what part of your chart Black Moon Lilith is in. Okay. So, hold on. So many different things. See, and that's why, see, it's your deepest desires. Your desires, your strengths, your passions, everything that this matrix has been trying to hide. Strengths, passions. It's got that so much right. Okay. Loneliness. All right. I think I wrote this down first. All right. Maybe I'll come back to that. But it's actually, just to tell you, like, it's figured like the darkest or the farthest part away from the moon, right? So there's a big influence of that when, because it's all about your emotions and your feelings, and when the moon really pulls on that to really kind of get you to, so see what I mean? Like, it's all like, once these woundings are released with Chiron conjuncting the North Node in your destiny, then it's like you realize that that passion, that desire, it's right there for the taking, right? And being in this year of infinity, being in this year of an 8, you know, it's really giving you the power and strength to really liberate you to go after those passions, those dreams and desires. At this time, to not let anybody hold you back. Right? So it's your hidden dark side. So they've definitely referred to her, you know, as the dark goddess. All right. So your deepest desire. So anything, you know, that feels taboo to you, that feels, you know, that feels wrong and things like that. You have those urges for a reason. So they want you to embrace those things. Like, it's supposed to be you learning how to tap into that wild feminine energy, but learning how to tame it. You know, letting go of any sexual fear, rejection, anger. Right? Symbols that you could be seeing too, the owl, serpent, wild cat. These could all be signs. You know, I've been getting a lot of owl symbolism. I actually broke my black bracelet that I felt guided to wearing. That somebody had made right before I did the reading, and the owl, this little owl. So now I know too why I was guided to this bracelet. I haven't worn it in a while, and it has a moon and a star on it, and it's just all different beads. A little girl made it, so I've worn it quite a bit. Like, I think around moon readings, I normally feel guided to this because of the little moon. But I never realized till it broke that the owl was there. So there's definitely something, you know, significant about getting a new perspective, right? And it definitely has the black, right? And it always reminds me of my black onyx. And screech owl, snakes, seductrix are all things that were connected. So deeper romantic spiritual growth. Her archetype is the exiled female of sexuality, avenged, gaslighting, demonic retribution, and commands retribution and revenge are all, you know, otherworldly power. But it's I have self-healing and deeper romantic spiritual growth. For a lot of you, like, you could be realizing certain situations or certain relationships aren't doing it for you anymore because you're wanting that deeper connection. So this is where you're learning how to let go of the shadow self, of any guilt, shame, pain that you have, and how to transform it into power. Unexpressed desires, passion, truth, but it's balancing out this light and dark, right? Liberating what is false and standing in the way. It's sacred rage, working against oppressive power. All right, so anyway, why this is so significant too is, so all right, Black Moon Lilith, like, the point changes every 8 months, right? That we have an influence of this sign. So on October 4th of last year until June 30th, it moved into the sign of Virgo, right? Which is like the sacred mother, right? And the primal archetype of exiled female sexuality, avenged gaslighting, and that demonic retribution. And I thought it was so significant. So I was like, I have to know what my daughter's North Node is. And she's a Virgo. And she's been very, very empowered. Like I got her back right before the beginning of October. And ever since, she's been like a powerhouse, like speaking her mind, expressive, not conforming to anything. And I was just like, wow, this experience that she went through really empowered her. But realizing that she, looking at her chart, was like Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. I was like, oh my gosh. And she's got Virgo South Node, and it is her Lilith. I was like, oh my gosh. So very, very significant. I didn't realize too that she's got like all Virgo, and then my son's got all Leo. Like I knew I was gonna have a family of star children, and we were gonna change this world. That's a message for somebody, right? So it's about, you know, that's why too this the earth energy within her, the fixed Leo energy within my son. Can you imagine the dynamics and the battles that go on in this household? Right? But it's learning how to, you know, tame that energy. Like my Leo, my son, he does not like she's in this energy of a force to be reckoned with right now, and he's in his energy, and like it's a lot, right? Anyway, significant for somebody. So Lilith brings dare, the night of the soul. It's interesting. Illuminates the most authentic path. All right, I don't know where I wrote down my notes, or how to where to look at it or whatever, but I wrote so many notes down, right? Because I've been getting a lot of guidance and messages, and but yeah, refusing to allow Adam to dominate her. For freedom, she must give up her children, and in retaliation, she steals the seed of Adam. These are things that they were saying about her. So her arch mother of witchcraft, Viscountess of Atlantis, and she was truly the first Eve. See, and that's why it's so significant too about restoring the balance and justice. And I've been saying all the ones from the beginning are here in the end, restoring this new earth, right? So anyway, okay. I was going to spend more time with my research to put together this reading, but like I said, I just feel it's very pertinent. I'm hearing to give that out now. So I'm going to be doing more readings right off of that, because I feel it's very significant, right? And just like I've got so many different notes on when you do look at like where your Black Moon Lilith placement is, and you look at the placements of them, right? Like, I don't know if it's in alignment with your North Node, like finding out that my Black Moon Lilith is in Taurus and my North Node is Taurus. So I don't know if it has to do with the significance of my family, right? Because I knew that my star children were going to help me with my mission, right? And it's significant that my North Node is in alignment with my Black Moon Lilith, and so is my daughters and things like that. There's something very, very significant about that. And then I'm interested to look at my youngest's daughters placement as well, right? So anyway, I felt, you know, look at these powerful decks, the Medicine Woman Oracle that I got, and feeling this very gold energy, this royalty, right? Because she really, it's just like she knew that she was the goddess, but she wasn't, she wanted things to be equal, right? She just didn't want to be submissive. And she even chose to leave. 2323, as they say that, like they'll talk about how she was banished and exiled, but she left and refused to go back. And she even left the Garden of Eden, right? And then they say that all these different things, like that's why she's depicted as the snake, because they say that like she shape-shifted and got Eve to then, you know what I mean, like all this stuff. And I'm feeling tingles when I say that. Maybe that is, right, just to show like, you know, some people can be tempted, right, just like these temptresses and these gold and things like that can be, and go after money and resources and can be bought. But see, like she could not be bought, right? And that is so significant. Like everything is so beautiful, but she left and went to the underworld, right? Because she'd rather be there than be submissive to Adam and not treated as an equal. And that is such a powerful thing. And it has to do with this empowerment of this goddess energy, right? And how you're really supposed to be embracing all of that. What they didn't want us to do. There's something so powerful and significant. That's what I mean. I'm going to keep researching and doing more and more readings. But look, I'm already 25 minutes just in talking about that. So I'm going to leave this one like this. And then I'm going to do get into doing cards, because I always like to do things into threes, right? I'm going to be putting together my fun love readings that I'm filling with the power of love. I've got these cards with the fun purple energy, right? And filling a lot of this self-love energy. Like this Valentine's Day, like I'm not even channeling like this red energy that I normally do. Normally I feel it so much and I see red everywhere. Well, today it's literally purple. So I feel there's this strong like energy of like just spiritual awakening and advancement, and it's just this very beautiful energy of love and like knowing your worth, things like that. And yeah, it's really in alignment with this energy, and just there's massive accelerated awakenings and ascensions that are going on at this time during this 222 portal. So all right guys, so I'm just gonna leave this one as a channeled message and get into more readings. So love and light to all of you. Bye.